Hey America, we're back. This is going to be a quick beef saute instead of the deep fried shrimp. I'm hungry. I need to get some food in me. That conversation was pretty cool with my father, right? My father's been a civil rights advocate his whole life. He's a white man. My adopted mom is white, and they both adopted me and my sister, want and asked for mulatto children. So he was talking about the march in Selma, and you know, what are we gonna do with this? I'm gonna put a little chili powder in here, just a hair, right? And then we're gonna put some garlic in there and some black pepper. So when I was in college in Lane just a few years ago, I spent a lot of time taking videos and books out of the library having to do with the struggles, all the way from Gandhi to the latest one, Mandela, and even I should say the latest one is right now in America. If we can come to a point where there's no more profiling of people because of their race, religion, and have this great deep respect for all of us as Americans, I think that would be a pretty good and powerful legacy. Now it's a legacy that we started working towards 50 years ago, and it's something that is really taking a strong hold on the East Coast and the big cities. As these cultures raised up together. Now I've talked about how the drug war broke them down, and that's my own personal thing. And there were many different things that attacked these things, but the pure intrinsic need for all of us, no matter if you're white, black, yellow, red, to understand that the human equivalent is what we make it and what we share to create it. Okay. Salt, just garlic. I got the wild rice right there. Oh, and asparagus tips. That's why I got the garlic. And I'm probably going to put a little acid in there. Probably just pickle juice. So, the March on Washington not just consisted of SNCC and the Freedom Rider students and the the actual student group that is still continuing to act today out of Washington D.C. The National Students Union, they were part of it. You had a huge part in the labor movement, as I mentioned, a movie called 10,000 Men Named George. You have the huge rash explosion of understanding of this violence. With the Freedom Riders and Emmett Till's getting killed, and then finally the killing of Martin Luther King. And I think my father just, he said he didn't want to bother King with going up and shaking his hand, and he was out marching in front of King, and I can see that, just the pride of being there, Sometimes you don't have to shake somebody's hand. You don't have to be all Hollywood. You just got to be real, And what was real that day was a bunch of men were marching for something that could have gotten them hurt. You know what I mean? It was not, it wasn't no rolled up newspapers those cops were using. All right. That's got a lot of them. Not enough beef. I want more beef. So that's pretty amazing stuff. I'm gonna roll that all the way to the bottom. Then, and it's far more than that we think about experiencing on the streets. We see these protesters, and we see them getting tased, and we see them getting hit with pepper spray and dragged, and But I don't think we really see that these people are humans, and that they, you know, could be, you know, if you're in your 50s, it could be your kid out there trying to make a difference, you know. And maybe it's the same kind of difference they were trying to make back then, you know. I think it is. I think it's the same movement. That march never ended. That's kind of a powerful thing to say. This is my pickle juice. Is that the march on Washington never ended. It's been just 50 years of movement towards the same goal that we were trying to achieve many years ago. And hopefully we get to it this time, you know. So Lincoln tried to have that legacy, and John F. K. tried to have that legacy, and so he got killed for it. And, you know, when does it all stop? When does we get to the point where we're like, okay, man, we are the people. We are entitled to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And being that this is the United States of America, we can be the greatest country in the world. And the fact that we have the ability to march. Dang it, I thought I had a clean plate. I thought I had one. In this wonderful unity, I'm out. I packed almost all my food up, people. And that 50 years has gone by, and now we have a black president. And, you know, let's turn the world upside down and start being human to each other. How do you like that? For my last 2 cents, let's turn the world upside down and start being human to one another. All right? And this is my Aunt Kathy brought me this wild rice from Minnesota. All right, and there's our topping. It looks a little boring. Looks a little boring. So let's make it not look so boring. Picante. And a nice dollop of sour cream. All right. All right, and that's our dish for tonight. Little paprika. All right. And it's going to need a little salt, because I didn't salt the rice. All right, Chef John, the Ghetto Gourmet. Our little talk about the march on Selma, Alabama, and the march on Washington, D.C., and what it takes really to get a movement started. These are so many different groups started the march on Washington, D.C., and that's where it accumulated, all right, with King's speech and the whole nation watching, okay? But it took many, many years to get to that point, and many, many people suffering. Maybe we can learn from the past. Maybe this 50-year march is over with. All right, that's coming strong for me, man. Thor, Chef John, to Ghetto Gourmet. Peace. On the streets.